DeAndre, what do you think of poppers?
Personally, I think enhance any experience, like bring them to Thanksgiving dinner.
Nothing says Thanksgiving like sniffing poppers around the table. Absolutely. Today we're unscrewing the top of the gayest drug around, poppers.
We're getting all the tea and talking to Dr. James Simmons.
They are legally for, remember VCRs? Y'all probably, neither one of you are old enough to remember VCRs.
I know what VCRs. Girl, be kind, rewind. Okay. We take an animated trip through the very gay history of poppers. And DeAndre visits a celebrity chiropractor and gets that back crack. Oh, I'm a pretzel. Oh, Jesus. Coming up next.
Hello, homo. Being a homo comes with lots of stress. We're talking culture and we're talking sex. So join with Garrett and DeAndre too. All the gay things that they do. Hello, homo. You'll learn a lesson or two. Hello, homo.
The first time I ever did poppers, I was in a non-sexual setting. The least I was having a friends reunion with some people from high school, and I did poppers in a hotel room in downtown Dallas with two friends in a non-sexual setting, and it got me loose. I felt like Gumby. Do you remember when you first discovered poppers?
I was having an adult play date with someone.
Sure.
And they broke them out, and I didn't know what it was. I thought it was a drug. I thought it was something sinister, perhaps, because they smell like acrid and kind of like pungent.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until a couple of years after I'd been introduced to them that I actually tried them for myself.
I've only recently started like using them recreationally. But I think they're fun. I think they're like, they get you crazy loose.
My thing is, I once at a party, the same as you, it was a non-sexual party.
Sure.
And they just had some poppers out, like, hey, it's bliss. But I did them, and it was like, I've got all this energy, no place to put it. And so I just had to sit down on the couch because I was a little overwhelmed.
Yeah, energy is a great term for what you were feeling.
Yes. Hot sexual energy.
Yeah. I think poppers are dangerous in the sense that kind of any recreational drug is dangerous. But here's the thing, I'm a child of DARE, and DARE worked on me like no one's business.
That's neat. Dare to be against drugs.
Dare to be against, this is now a PSA.
Do you think that they should have had like a poppers warning for DARE for like elementary school students?
Yeah.
Like if somebody comes up to you with a bottle and puts it under your nose.
Right. Yeah, I mean, if someone did that to me as a child, I would have been confused regardless.
The term poppers referred to a class of amyl nitrates that, when inhaled, produce a short burst of heat and excitement throughout the body.
In addition to the head rush, poppers relax the smooth muscle tissue throughout your body, including your anus, which is a nice way of saying it relaxes that butthole and opens it up for business.
Oh yes, honey. This brief euphoric high leads to feelings of loosened inhibitions, warmth, and what some would describe as extreme horniness. Originally synthesized by horny French chemist Antoine Jerome Ballard in 1844, poppers got their name in the 1970s because the original packaging was glass in a cloth sleeve that needed to be popped for inhalation.
Widely used among gay men to enhance sexual pleasure, poppers can be found in bedrooms and dance floors across the world.
Recently, the FDA issued a warning urging consumers against the sale and use of poppers after an observed increase in reported death and hospitalizations.
The FDA's recent release about poppers was just a warning, which means that you can still purchase your poppers legally.
But are they dangerous? We've got Dr. James Q. Simmons here to talk to us about poppers. Now, doctor, what are poppers and what do they do?
They are legally for, remember VCRs? Y'all probably, neither one of you are old enough to remember VCRs, right?
But girl, be kind, rewind. Okay.
Yep, they are. Be kind, rewind. Exactly. When there were blockbusters and all that stuff, you had to actually take the tapes back. Anyway, you used to also have to clean the heads of VCR players. And so this was formerly advertised as head cleaner. Sometimes it's a special type of nail polish remover. Wink, wink is what they'll be legally advertised for. People do come to rely on them and think that the only way that they'll be able to enjoy anal sex, particularly receptive anal sex, is by using poppers. So they are dangerous. Here's the big red flag warnings, right? I'm so sorry. But they are massive vasodilators, which means they relax everything in your body, including all your veins and arteries, and it drops your blood pressure. And the problem is people use poppers a lot of the times, guys, with things like Viagra, Cialis, alcohol, other illicit drugs that also drop your blood pressure. So not only does your blood pressure drop dangerously low and then you pass out, you can pass out and your heart can stop, or you can pass out and crack your head open on the side of the bed right before you about to do what it do. Let's just be honest, right? Our gay sisters, right? Our gay ancestors before were using poppers in the club and whatever, but that's kind of all that they were using. There wasn't Viagra. There wasn't Cialis. So listen, when you don't have the right kind of blood flow to the organs in your body, particularly your brain shuts everything down. So you pass out. It can cause electrical, arrhythmias in your heart, and you can have a heart attack. Like, this is no joke, which is why the FDA was once again reminding folks, like, please don't do poppers. And oh, by the way, we're going to track adverse reactions and adverse events when people do use them.
Yeah, and so you mentioned the FDA regulations. Can you explain to us a little bit more about those?
Exactly why now have they been reintroduced into the main conversation about health and gay wellness?
You see, I'm rolling up my sleeves. I'm getting serious here.
Come on, doctor, give it to us. Let's get serious.
Poppers have primarily been used amongst gay and queer men for a really long time. We know that there is baked in queer phobia, homophobia, transphobia, racism in the healthcare system and in clinical research. So while we have done a lot of research on other drugs in other communities and seen what those long-term impacts are, no one's really done the research in our queer community for these, right? We don't know what the long-term impact is, particularly among gay and queer men who are the primary users of this. There is some homophobia going on in this. There is some queerphobia going on in this. In particular, this is not the first time that the FDA has come out and said, y'all don't do poppers. What they did change a little bit in this announcement was that they're going to start tracking the adverse events that occur with this. So they weren't always tracking them. The FDA and the CDC and other, government organizations track adverse events that happen from things like Percocet or, opioids, right? Heroin, cigarette smoking, alcohol, all this stuff, right? Well, now they're saying, all right, we're adding poppers, amyl nitrates to this whole list of things that we're going to track and see what the adverse reactions are. That's good news in that we're going to start learning more about what this does over time, to answer your question. The bad news about this is that there's no education about it. There's no harm reduction strategies about this. There's no why do we not know what's going on with poppers in the gay community in the first place for the last 50 years? Because y'all haven't done any research about it. It's none of that. It's just a big warning. Y'all don't do this. Well, we learned in the 80s when you tell people just say no or, dare not to do drugs, it doesn't work, right? So folks are going to use poppers and folks are going to have sex. So how can we educate folks about how to stay safe when they do it?
So let's say that I'm with my man and I want to throw my legs up over my head.
Hello.
If you don't recommend poppers, is there anything else you do recommend to make that experience better for me if I want to throw my legs up?
You want to throw your legs up?
I want to get my back broke out.
You got to.
Is there anything else you recommend to help ease that?
There are some things I recommend. I think it's always a really great reminder to folks that our biggest sex organ is our brain.
Ooh.
And you got to be in the right mind for this. Now, some folks are ready to get their back broke at every moment of every day. They just come fully prepared and they're like, I'm in, let's go, right? And that's their jam.
Yeah.
There are other people who just are not there, right? And, I know a lot of sex sometimes happens in a kind of casual fashion, but if you're in a situation where it's not, make sure you're comfortable with this person. That will do 90% of the work in your brain already. If you're comfortable with them and you trust them, trust me, you gonna loosen up just fine. You know what I'm saying? When you get your back broke. My official Dr. James nurse practitioner stance is don't do poppers, y'all, they're bad. My realism, harm reduction, I done been out and gay for 25 years. I know what happens when we make it do what it do. if you're going to use poppers, don't mix them with anything else, especially Viagra and Cialis and some of the other medications that we use for erectile dysfunction. It is a dangerous, potentially lethal drop in blood pressure, as well as harm to your organs, as well as, let's say you are already drunk and you're standing up and you're about to break somebody's back and you do a hit of poppers and you pass out and crack your head open in Palm Springs and no one finds you in the hotel room, right? Like, not trying to be a scary type of person, but just know that mixing those things can really, really be dangerous and sometimes even lethal.
I think the big takeaway is anytime that you are doing any kind of drug, anytime you're putting anything into your body, make sure you know what it is, make sure you understand, make sure you watch a show like this or follow a doctor like Dr. James Simmons. Where can we find you on the internet? Where can we see you?
You are so sweet. Thank you. I am most active on Instagram and Twitter at Ask the NP. NP is a nurse practitioner. Ask the NP.
Make sure you guys follow him for all of your news. Because, I mean, it's so important as gay men. Our health is something that for a lot of us we neglect. For a lot of us, we don't pay a lot of attention to us, and we have specialized needs. We've got things that, you know, straight people may not have a lot of, or people who are not in the queer community may not have experience with. So I think it's very important that we all get, you know, our information from qualified sources and people who know about our community, like Dr. James, who is, like you said, for 25 years, you've been out and you know
The community.
you know that poppers are something that people do. And it's not always about eliminating it, but harm reduction is the name of the game. So I appreciate you bringing up that topic.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it, y'all. Thank you.
Information is power, honey.
Exactly right.
It's popper power.
Information is popper power, and so I think the FDA is trying to give us power.
Yeah, well, I mean, being gay is really in right now.
Let me
It's in right now.
It really is.
And the FDA is saying, you know what, girl? Maybe we should just let them know what's going on.
Exactly.
So the people can make their own decisions.
Exactly.
I will continue to make my quarterly purchase of pop
Okay.
from the local gay men's homosexual retail supply store. And I will continue to bring them with me in sexual encounters, in the bedroom, on the dance floor, and to Thanksgiving dinner. Any place where I am, my poppers are coming with me.
Yeah, and that's probably a good idea. I think maybe passing them around at holiday gatherings, I will say, would make the gathering a lot more relaxed.
Pass the peas and pass the poppers.
Yes.
too.
Oh.
Thanksgiving.
Oh.
Thanksgiving. I'm here at Dr. G's office. He's a celebrity chiropractor to the stars. He has cracked the backs of Bow Wow. Oh,
I felt that. That was crazy.
Polly Shore.
Adjustments are very important, especially in these times, because people are tweaked. Give me a little squeeze. Yeah, right there. Yeah, harder.
Snoop Dogg.
Wait, man, you got me cracking like all the wind back. Everything I move, like the crack.
And today, he is cracking the back of noted homosexual me. I have never in my life been to a chiropractor before. I'm not opposed to it. I've just never had the opportunity. And so this is gonna be my first time. I'm unused to a man touching me in such an intimate way, but I am excited to see what he does. I'm excited to get worked out.
Do you look close to the sound that happens when your bones are cracked?
When your bones get cracked, there is a loud sound that happens, and I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I have to imagine that it's like the bones in your body having like a Mortal Kombat fatality style fight where they're like grinding against each other, and it's very, very, very violent and very homoerotic. That's what I think happens. The theme of today is Kaya, my neck, my back, and I am ready to get cracked just like that. After a brief runway walk, it was finally time to meet the man, the myth, the legend, Dr. G. Dr. G, thank you so much for having us here today. Tell us, what is a chiropractor and what do they do?
So a chiropractor is a specialist that helps manage back and neck pain, but also other musculoskeletal issues without the use of drugs or surgery. when we look at the spine, right? So we have the spine here. We have all the nerves that feed to the entire body. If you get pressure on a nerve, you're gonna get pain, right? So the adjustment helps to alleviate the pressure off the nerve so you can, feel better, right? But as far as the pop, what happens is the joint capsule is actually being overstretched. It's not the bone shifting in and out of place as much. That joint becomes overstretched, gas comes out that joint, and you hear the pop.
So basically what the pop sound is our bodies farting, right?
Absolutely, it's like the spine farting.
In addition to beautiful murals depicting the Dallas skyline, the Cowboys, and the Mavericks, the walls of Dr. G's office are also covered with signed pictures of some of his most famous celebrity clients. Which stars' backs have you popped, and whose did you like the best?
Oh man, I can't pick my favorite, but I can say it's different. Anybody from Snoop, who's very, very thin, to the world's strongest man, Mark Henry, who's not a very small man at all. Texas rappers, good friends, Slim Thug, Mike Jones, Lil Flip. I mean, there's a whole list out there.
Not only does he crack the backs of some of the most famous rappers in the game, he's become somewhat of a local rap legend himself.
If your back hurts, call me. I can stop that. I'm Dr. G, homie. Yeah, I pop backs. I crack 'em like a phone screen. Tell 'em lay flat. I got you, don't worry. Just relax.
So what are you going to do to me now? What is about to happen? First, you're going to put something on me and electrocute me, right?
Yes, so okay, that's the E Plus or Electrons Plus machine. It's a type of therapeutic machine where it stimulates the nerves, so you'll get all these muscle contractions, right? But as far as pain management, it decreases inflammation, loosens up the muscles. The adjustment goes a lot better from that.
And then after that, you're going to throw me down on one of these beds, and then what are you going to do to me, doctor?
And then we're gonna do a spinal alignment or an adjustment.
I'm ready to get adjusted, I'm ready to get aligned, and I'm ready to get my back cracked. Let's do it!
All right, okay, so I'm gonna show you here on your arm first, right? So just relax it. This is what's gonna happen. It's gonna directly stimulate the nerves.
As his fingers went up and down my arm, the sensation of electromagnetic shock followed.
So we're gonna do it here on the neck because it's gonna make the neck adjustment go.
Oh my
smoother.
God.
Yeah.
Oh, that's...
And you tell me if it's too much. I mean, we wanna show the camera, right?
I feel like
can
I'm
lie
being
down.
controlled by a robot.
I can lighten up. It'll shock you too a little bit. So look at that. But yeah, so basically, yeah, we're just gonna stimulate. It stimulates the nerves directly, so it's causing the muscles to contract. We're literally creating a circuit. So I'm on this pad here. It's running a stimulus through me, and you're grounded on that mat, and that's basically what we're seeing there.
What does this alleviate for people?
So if it's nerve pain, I mean, it's almost instant. People get a relief in nerve pain. But overall, it extremely decreases inflammation. When people have pain, there's a lot of inflammation around the spine and in the muscles. But once you get that to calm down, that tightness loosens up, and then, like I said, you're gonna get a really good adjustment. So let me show you that too. So we'll adjust the neck right here, okay? So let me see. First time adjusted, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so you're just gonna relax here, and I'm just gonna put a little pressure, and you're gonna hear a pop.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That was exciting. That was good. I want more. In case you're wondering if the sound is real, it is. It's loud.
What I'm doing, I'm just feeling through this. I'm feeling for the joints that are stuck. They're not moving as well as they should. You should have a lot of movement throughout your entire spine. So it's right here, C3, C4. Go and relax. And then I'm just gonna put a little pressure.
Oh, Jesus. Oh my God. Oh, that's wild. That is crazy. That is the most intense crack that I've ever had in my entire life. My neck has been cracked, but now it's time for my back. Dr. G does a few alignments on my spine.
All right, I'm gonna put a little pressure, okay? Just relax. Good.
Oh.
There we go. Now flip over on your back.
Not my first time being told to do that. I'm ready.
And then we're gonna bend this top knee, right? Keep the bottom leg straight. Just kind of relax your hip.
Uh-huh. Oh, Jesus. Oh, I'm a pretzel. Oh, God. And with that, my chiropractic journey with Dr. G came to an end. There was once a wise lyricist who wrote, "My neck, my back, just like that." And that is what I'm feeling right now. I feel that every bone in my body has been released from the chains that were holding them down, and they are free to run wild. Dr. G, thank you so much. Do most people get experiences like that? Is the result that they feel so like loose and free and ready to take on the world?
Absolutely, we get that all the time. It just really depends on where they're at when they're coming in. Everybody's a little different, but yeah, absolutely, we get this all the time.
Dr. G, where can the people find you to come get their back crack and all their stuff rotated?
I can tell you the easiest way. I have a website, right? PlayerMadeDoctor.com. Google that. You can just put Player Made Doctor. It'll pull up. It's got all my socials, got all my information.
So the next time you need to practice a little self-care, oh Jesus, why don't you check out your local chiropractor? They just might be able to get you straightened out. Well, as straight as a gay like you can possibly be.
Thanks for watching Hello Homo. To follow more gay adventures with me and DeAndre, follow us on social media and check out our website. See you next time.
Two poppers and time.